The Horror Dude, a college student who's obsessed with darkness and superstition, who's now taking a big #2 on the old Porcelain Express. Like every college student, he still lives with his parents with no girlfriend in sight. In a moment, he will be talking about a television show dealing in the strange and unusual. He has taken 10 of the best episodes Season 1 had to offer, but what he won't tell you is that there is no toilet paper in the toilet.
Hey! Who are you, and why are you smoking in my bedroom?
In the Twilight Zone.
Hey! You could have at least left me a roll of toilet paper. I love the Twilight Zone. Very few television shows really stand the test of time, quite like the Twilight Zone has. Each episode was original, imaginative, and surprisingly intellectual for its time. Rod Serling, the show's creator, wanted his viewers to tackle difficult issues of morality, human primal urges, and just overall really deep thought in every single episode. It really shows, because a lot of the episode's philosophical concepts still hold true to this day.
Like how college kids are lazy and just drink all the time.
I'm not lazy, and I don't drink that much anymore.
So sit back, turn off the lights, and enjoy my top 10 Twilight Zone episodes from Season 1.
At number 10, episode 17, The Fever. The Fever's plot centers around an older couple named Franklin and Flora who have won a contest to stay a few nights in Las Vegas. However, the irony here is not only is Franklin a complete buzzkill, the dude just hates gambling. Luckily for him, to pick his spirits back up, the drunk man at the casino makes Franklin use the slot machine he's on and wins. Due to this event, Franklin gets the fever, which apparently causes Franklin to believe the slot machine is calling his name. He later becomes so obsessed and insane with winning his money back that Franklin claims the machine is inhuman and evil. After hours of playing, Franklin uses his last dollar into the machine, and the machine finally breaks. Literally, the handle breaks, and Franklin, like any of us with the last bag of Doritos stuck in the vending machine, loses his shit. Give me back my dollar! Later in the room, Franklin finally completely loses his mind, and after not only hearing the slot machine was bad enough, now he's seeing it literally chasing him. Franklin gets so spooked he basically backs up and falls out the window, and the episode ends with the slot machine being nice enough to return Franklin's dollar back.
This episode not only shows the addiction of gambling, but the evil of slot machines. It takes the basics of addiction and just ramps it up to like 1,000 miles per hour of bullshit. Besides, inanimate objects cannot be this evil. Another Twilight Zone episode centered on addiction.
Like how you're addicted to marijuana?
Oh, come on, I don't even smoke that much pot. That's not mine, I'm just holding it for a friend.
Joey Crown is an alcoholic trumpet player trying to get work again to fuel his alcoholic addiction. Being turned down by his old band members, he's finally forced to sell his trumpet and spends it all getting smashed. While finished at the bar, Joey feels life's not worth it anymore and steps in front of a speeding vehicle convincingly. When he wakes up, he notices no one can see or hear him besides Abraham Lincoln. I'm totally kidding, but seriously, give me a break. This dude looks exactly like Abe Lincoln, right? But in fact, it's actually the angel Gabriel telling Joey he's in limbo. Joey then begins to see the brighter side of life and comes back to the world of the living with a fresh perspective and positive outlook. Joey gets his trumpet back, stays clean, and ultimately finds a girlfriend.
What makes this episode really great is the second chance Joey gets at life. And for a person that has struggled with depression his entire life, I just know how that feeling is where everything just kinda looks like it's going to shit. Sometimes we just get lost in all the depressing bullshit that we kinda forget all the great things life has to offer us.
At number 8, episode 13, The Four of Us Are Dying. The plot involves a con man who has the ability to change his face to look like anyone he chooses. The episode has him using the ability to steal a dead dude's girlfriend and even extort money from a gangster who had the guy he looks like killed. Jeez, what a badass. Obviously not being too happy, the gangster's men try and chase the con man down the alley where he changes again into a random picture he sees on the wall. When coming out of the alley, he runs into the man's father who mistakes him as his son and proceeds to berate the ever-loving shit out of him.
Look what we got here! Andy Marshak, I get a little punk. Hurt people, all the time, hurt people. Look at the monster. Look at my son.
After more face-morphing shenanigans, the father runs into the con man disguised as his son again later on in the episode, where the father pulls a gun on the con man, and before he's able to show the father his ability, the father shoots the man dead in the street out of the hurt his real son had caused him.
This episode is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine because, I mean, it's not seen as a great episode by any means, but what ultimately sold me on this episode is I kind of got to think of it this way. We as human beings have no idea what kind of demons other people are dealing with. So it's like putting yourselves in the other person's shoes. Mr. Beavis was an amazing episode just because Beavis was just Beavis.
The plot explains that Beavis is a kind of oddball. He wears strange clothes, likes strange doodads, is well liked by everyone in the neighborhood, and listens to whatever the fuck zither music is.
Alright, let's finally see what zither music sounds like. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
But one day, Beavis loses his job, wrecks his car, and even gets evicted from his house. So what do you do when life gets you down? You get blackout drunk, of course. While at the bar, Beavis discovers that his family has its own guardian angel named J. Hardy Hempstead, and gets to start the day all over again. However, everything that makes him happy is gone this time around. He no longer wears goofy clothes, drives a hip in-the-now car, and is forced to love Justin Bieber music. Suffice it to say, he goes through the day and is just not happy and tells his guardian angel that he would rather have nothing and be happy than successful and be miserable.
I think anyone can get behind the idea that ultimately individuality is what makes you happy. Unless somebody gives me $1 million, then I'll happily turn into a beauty channel. Seriously? You know, fuck you and your eyebrows.
At number 6, episode 2, One for the Angels. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased toward this episode because Ed Wynn is the shit. His performance in this is fucking fantastic, and Murray Hamilton as Death is pretty good too. The story follows Wynn as a sidewalk pitchman named Lou Bookman who makes a living selling crap. One day, Death shows up and tells Bookman that he is to die of natural causes at midnight. Being suave that Bookman is, he convinces Death to give him more time to make the perfect sales pitch. Trying to be sneaky, Bookman then decides to never do pitches again, because if he can't pitch, Death can't claim him, in which Death is like, "Nah, bitch." A little girl in the same building as Bookman gets hit by a truck and is in serious condition. Bookman tries to convince Death to take him, but says it's already too late and that she will go with him at midnight. Later that night, when Death comes early, Bookman basically sells Death all the crap he has and misses Death's midnight appointment to take the little girl, in which Death finally opens up and allows Bookman to take her place, fulfilling their original agreement.
Now, like I said, this episode was really good because Ed Wynn's performance basically steals the show. I mean, come on, who else could con Death out of all his cash? Except for maybe Bill and Ted.
You have sunk my battleship.
At number 5, episode 24, Longlived Walter Jameson. Walter Jameson is a dreamy college professor that looks good for his age, being that he's over 2,000 years old. Basically, when Jameson was younger, he wanted to never age, an ability given to him by an alchemist who, instead of just losing his arms or his entire body, the alchemist basically just vanishes. Anyway, he's found out by his current soon-to-be wife's father after seeing a picture of him in a meeting during the Civil War and wants Walter to make him ageless as well. He reveals to the father that he has no idea how exactly he became ageless, but is still able to die due to injury, and besides, it probably would be a bad idea because who wants to be ageless when you're already like 70? He also tells the old man that living forever kinda sucks, and he holds a revolver in his desk and is just too much of a wimp to pull the trigger and kill himself anyway. Kinda peeved, he tells Jameson that he can't marry his daughter because she will ultimately know his secret while she ages and he doesn't. But Jameson, like a badass, just doesn't give a fuck and tells him to fuck off and asks her to marry him anyway. On his way back home, Jameson discovers one of his old wives who he abandoned when she aged and basically caps Walter, causing him to finally age and do dead things.
I just thought this episode was really cool. I mean, everyone's thought about living forever, right? It's damn near depressing, but funny as hell to see what happens to Walter.
Why you coming home 5 in the morning? Something's going on, can I smell your dick?
Everyone knows this episode. It's been done in pop culture to death. So let me break it down for you really, really fast.
A bank teller enjoys books but never gets enough time to read them. He locks himself in the bank vault when a nuclear blast or maybe even a Godzilla fart, I don't know, destroys the city and everyone in it. He discovers, oh hey, I can read now, when basically he reaches down and breaks his fucking glasses, having him surrounded by books I'll never be able to read.
Is it iconic as hell? Yes. Has it been done to death? Hell yes. But ultimately it did what Rod Serling wanted to do in this television show, is to get people thinking about tough, difficult choices.
That's not fair. There was time now. It's not fair.
I get off on this. A nice place to visit is... well, it just isn't a very nice place to visit.
A nice place to visit is about a criminal named Henry Valentine who gets shot trying to rob a pawn shop of all places. He wakes up to a man hovering over him named Pip, who tells Valentine he's able to have anything he desires. After going to Pip's lavish apartment, Pip explains to Valentine that, obvious spoiler, that Valentine's dead, in which Valentine thinks he's in heaven due to being able to get anything he wants, and even thinks Pip is his guardian angel. Throughout the episode, Valentine does whatever he wants, constantly winning money in casinos, getting any women he wants, and anything else he ever desires. But of course, he gets tired of winning all the time and being miserable, and tells Pip that there must be some kind of mistake him being in heaven, in which Pip responds,
Heaven? Whatever gave you the idea you were in heaven, Mr. Valentine? This is the other place.
This episode is great because it shows just because you get everything you want doesn't make everything alright. Unless you're me, because I'm awesome! Okay, seriously, if you hate your annoying neighbors and you hate obnoxious teens, then you need to thank Christ you don't live on Maple Street. Unless you do live on a Maple Street, then congratulations, a place just opened up on Elm Street for rent just for you.
Basically, The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street is about a neighborhood that witnesses strange lights in the sky, and immediately all the power gets cut from the neighborhood. Cars don't work, lights don't work, and even Grandpa Jim's lawnmower fails to work throughout the whole neighborhood. A poor bastard named Pete decides to check the next neighborhood over and is basically gone for the entire episode, since apparently it takes that fucking long to walk one street over. Another neighbor named Steve wants to go into town until Beaver Cleaver tells Steve,
they don't want us to leave. That's why they shut everything off. It's always that way in every story I've ever read about a ship landing from outer space. Nobody could leave, except the people they'd sent down ahead of them.
Another resident named Les is trying to start his car unsuccessfully until the car starts on its own, causing everyone to actually believe the kid and think Les is an alien monster from space. The rest of the episode is basically the whole neighborhood flipping out on who they think the alien is, and near the end causes a huge panic and everyone to flip their shit and turn on each other. The ending cuts to a hilltop where the aliens manipulated Maple Street to show how easily it was to create paranoia in the human race just by turning off the electricity of one street.
This episode always stuck with me throughout my life because it tackled the Twilight Zone's most interesting concepts, and that's the primal fears of human beings. That much paranoia caused by turning off the power of one street. I wonder what would happen if you turned off all of Facebook.
And finally, at number 1, episode 36, A World of His Own. A playwright named Gregory West has the ability to make up real-life people just by describing these characters into his recorder. Unfortunately for his wife, she comes home to find Gregory being very naughty. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Gregory explains to his wife after the mystery woman disappears that he's able to describe any character into the machine and they will appear in real life. To make the characters disappear, all he has to do is cut out the portion of the tape describing the character and throw it into the fireplace. Obviously, thinking Gregory is raving mad, his wife threatens to leave him and take all his money. Little does she know that Gregory pulls a section of tape from the safe with his wife's name on it. His wife snatches the tape away and throws it into the fire thinking he's full of shit, but disappears, ridding Gregory of the bitch. Gregory then tries to re-describe Victoria, but instead reinvents the original girl back to be his wife. The ending is actually pretty funny, as it's the first time Rod Serling shows up in front of the camera to try and give his closing narration, only to have Gregory getting upset with Rod because, you know, Rod's already an asshole, and decides to throw his name into the fire and have him disappear.
The Whore Dude. A college loser who has no hope of moving out of his parents' house or finding a real job. He sits at home making boring YouTube videos. Fucking prick.